So today, James Comey, the FBI director, says there's no indictment of Hillary Clinton. And so the question then becomes a political one of, will progressives fall in line? Already all over social media, I have been asked this question. So here I am to answer it for you guys. The answer is no. It's an outrage! It's an outrage! He wants Trump to win. No, that's not how it works. First of all, for all the Hillary Clinton supporters, I got bad news for you. You're not the boss of me. By the way, I do have a boss. It's our audience. It's our members who pay for this show. You know what they demand? They don't demand that I'm Bernie or bust or that, I'm going to support one candidate over another. They demand that we cover the news as honestly as we possibly can. That is our job. That is what we're going to do. So, in doing so, today, I am screaming from the rooftops, the Democratic primary is over. Even if that bothers some in our audience, sad day. My job isn't to tell you something that makes you feel good. My job is to tell you reality. She's not indicted. There's not going to be any other, I would be shocked if there was any other curveballs. They're not going to go and try to, figure out what happened in Brooklyn. You think they should, or California or Rhode Island or whatever else happened. You think they should, some of you out there, but they won't. It's over. She's the nominee. Okay. Now, having said that, does that mean since she's the Democratic nominee, we will now do stories slanted towards her favor? Hell no, we won't. No, look, if you ask me, and I've said this already many times, I've gotten a lot of criticism and heat for it from other folks. Is she better than Donald Trump? Yes, I don't think that's a hard question. I also don't think it's the right question. So if there's a negative story about Donald Trump, I'm going to cover it. If there's a negative story about Hillary Clinton, I'm going to cover it. Oh, don't do that, it'll hurt her. It's not my job to figure out what hurts her and doesn't hurt her. That's her job. My job is to cover the news. By the way, positive stories on either. If we can find a positive story about Trump, I would do it. I haven't found one yet. Okay. No, well, in the middle of all the charity scams that he ran, he did give $100,000 once to a police benevolent association. The rest of it were scams. Whatever the news is, that's our job. Okay, now, in terms of politics, please, to our audience, don't make the same mistake as the establishment press, where you think it's all about this presidential election. Like that if we had a knight in shining armor, everything would have been great, and we would have saved the whole world. But if we don't have it, it's an epic collapse. We should all just go home. That's how they want you to think. It would be enormously counterproductive if you thought that. You know what's going to happen starting not tomorrow, but immediately today? Team Revolution goes charging forward. So what does Team Revolution mean? Again, the press sometimes so obtuse. They look at it and go, oh, what? What does the revolution want? Does it want Trump or Clinton? No, it doesn't want either. What it wants is systemic change, real change. And don't tell me that it's not clear, because I'm going to make it crystal clear to you guys here. And if you don't understand it after this, boy, have you proven me right about how incredibly obtuse you are. What we're going for is to get money out of politics so we can get free and fair elections, so that we could return to democracy, so that the donors don't control all of our politicians, that our representatives represent us and not their donors. What part of this is unclear? Let me add one other thing. We aren't going to stop because our candidate didn't win in the primary. We aren't going to stop at the general election. We're not going to stop at any election. We're not going to stop at legislative actions. We're not going to stop at the grassroots level. We're not going to stop for anything until we get that systemic change. So I know you love your horse race. So, oh my God, which side is it going to go? Which one? Oh my God, it's so important. Oh. No, what's 1,000 times more important is that we have free and fair elections so that the next election we don't face this Hobson's choice of either no change or epic, abysmal change. We're sick of those choices, so we will change the system. Now, this is the part where the rest of the establishment media will snicker, like, Oh, you kids on the internet, like you're going to change anything. Come and see. Come and see. So you don't believe in us? That's okay. You've never believed anyway. You didn't believe in Bernie Sanders. He's not the most liberal senator of our lifetimes against Hillary Clinton, the most powerful Democrat we've ever known. Ha! No way. He closed a 60-point lead and you were still snickering. Yes, in the end, he lost. But if you think that because he lost this primary, that the fight is over and the revolution is concluded, oh, I've got some very bad news for you. We're just getting started. So I'm telling you right now, Team Revolution, we're going to fight in the primaries going forward and those that remain, and there are plenty that remain within the Democratic and even Republican primaries. We are going to fight, yes, in the general election, although it is oftentimes the least relevant part of this process. Yes, we're going to fight legislatively, not only in Congress, but in the states. And yes, we're going to organize all those volunteers. And we have a clear purpose. We're not going to stop until we get our democracy back. And if the mainstream media doesn't understand it or wants to cry about it, or the Democratic or Republican Party does, that's a sad day for them, because they're not coming for us. Like I told you on day one, we're coming for them.